Before I even get into what the minister Louis Farrakhan had to say about the whole Beyonce Super Bowl backlash situation, I just wanted to say this. Has anybody noticed anything fishy and funny about the whole police officers, in so many words, saying, we're not going to protect Beyonce, we're not going to do our job? Have you noticed anything about it? They haven't been called out as basically being unprofessional. They have not been called lazy. They have not been called irrational in the media. Also, nobody's pointing out that they're civil servants in the media. You got to think about it like this. These people are paid by us, the people, to protect and serve. And if they're refusing to do their job, why would they get paid at all? Why would they not just be immediately fired and replaced, or at least penalized? It just doesn't make any sense. But that's that white privilege. Imagine if a group of quote unquote black cops decided to do that. Hell, if you're a so-called black cop, you'll be forced to work a damn KKK rally and protect them. And most so-called black cops would actually do their job. But white people, generally speaking, are so incredibly entitled sometimes that they think they could just get away with anything, as we can see. But anyways, I'm going to read to you what TMZ had to say about the whole situation. TMZ writes, and I quote, Beyonce was the subject of a fiery sermon from Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was vowing to provide protection for her if police officers won't. The Nation of Islam leader was preaching in Detroit on Sunday when he mocked critics of Beyonce's Super Bowl halftime show, saying, quote, she started talking all that black stuff, and white folks were like, we don't know how to deal with that. Farrakhan also blasted former mayor Rudy Giuliani and added, quote, look at how you treating Beyonce now. You're going to picket. You're not going to offer her police protection, but the FOI, Fruit of Islam, will. As we reported, a Miami police organization has called for a boycott of Beyonce when she performs there. Farrakhan also urged Kendrick Lamar and the whole hip-hop community to, quote, say what you feel, put it out there, end quote. You know what, Louis Farrakhan, I totally agree. I completely 100% emphatically agree that what hip-hop and all so-called black people and anybody who identifies with us or claims to side with us or whatever need to basically express yourselves through art, through poetry, any way you can, even through dance. I think we basically need to demonstrate to these people, not only do we not agree with what you're doing, or rather what you're saying you're not going to do, which is your job. Not only do we not agree with it, we're not going to stand for it. In fact, we're going to collectively stand against it. Because basically what they're saying is, we're going to get paid for not doing our job. And I mean, where can you do that? Apparently, when you're on the police force and it's something involving so-called black people, you can just say, well, I'm just not going to do my job, but you're going to pay me. And, a lot of that animosity comes from the fact that they think we owe them something. Even if your tax dollars are, paying for their children to eat, for their children to go to college, paying for them to eat and live, it doesn't matter. They think we owe them something, even though we're already giving to them. Look, I mean, they're basically a charity case. It's a form of welfare if I'm paying for you to not do your job. It's like, what are you doing? What is your real purpose? So at this point, those police officers are essentially a waste of welfare. This is yet another reason why so-called black people need to step up and speak to the United Nations about how these people are using all different types of warfare tactics and strategies against us as a race. Because, we've heard rumors of race wars when the race war basically has been going on for many years now. And this is a part of it. The police are supposed to do a very simple job. And they've basically been saying whenever the subject of so-called black people comes up, well, we're just not going to do it. And that's that, basically. And they've been getting away with it for now. So we just really need to just come together and basically make it a thing where it becomes unlawful for these people to not do their jobs and whatnot, and they need to be penalized immediately. It needs to be something that's written in there saying, if you're going to say, oh, we're not going to protect this particular group of people, then you'll have to basically give us back your salary. It has to go into the community when you're not doing your job, because you just can't get paid for nothing. Basically, you can't just refuse to not do your job. And then you should have like a certain amount of time to comply. And if they still don't, then they should just be immediately let go. Well, this is all just my opinion. What's your suggestion? How do you think things should be handled? Do you think that the cops have the right to not do their job? Have you ever been on a job where you just refused to not do your job and you still got paid? Do you think that this is just another case of white supremacy rearing its ugly head? Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine. Oh, another thing. Do you think if the Fruit of Islam protects Beyonce, do you think that the KKK or some other sort of racist terrorist group will come after them to try to cause some sort of tension? Let me know below. Meat Magazine on YouTube, meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine.